tell us what's not included in your bio. And did you ever think that you would be the CEO and chair of one of only 14 women-owned banks?
No, I mean, I grew up with a single dad, economically disadvantaged. I ended up enlisted in the Army when I was 19, hoping to have a pathway to go to college. I got a finance degree. I took 33 hours a semester while I worked full time and finished my degree in a year. While I walked across the stage 8.5 months pregnant, and then got a job at the Federal Reserve. And then they sent me to banking school, which was a bad mistake on their part because then you pretend run a bank. And I just totally fell in love with banking. These discussions around the table, you see mostly white men. And so I think it's not surprising that you see less than 2% of banks have women in the C-suite, not as CEOs, but in the C-suite. Citizens is owned primarily by an employee stock ownership program, which is why we're women owned. Majority of our team has ownership in the bank that has, and they're majority women. But the bank was in trouble. It was the worst performing bank in Oklahoma. Banks are rated 1 through 5 on Camels. And I can't legally tell you like where we were, but we were at the very bottom. So we were about to close. And so then I came into the role kind of as a CFO type of role, led that turnaround. And then, I mean, I got a know your place discussion. That was, I think, the first kind of hard conversation where I was like, wow, I've always been encouraged to explore and get engaged. And now I'm being told to suppress some of that. And then I was also getting feedback along the way, even when I moved into the CEO role, about you're just not very likable or approachable, or you seem distant and cold. But then you would get like another feedback that like, you seem very emotional, even when I would get a little firm, but it would seem like just the hyper criticism, no matter where you were. And I got declined twice to be the leader of the bank by the regulators. Then I had this like feeling of inadequacy, honestly, that I had a group that was told them so that this is not someone that we would choose to run this organization. And then internally, I had the distrust of the team. And it was really hard. And I think a lot of women face that, where you're trying to prove legitimacy and credibility. And then in a turnaround, you're removing yourself emotionally, maybe more so than a guy maybe would, because you're trying to be objective and really make good decisions. And so that advice to me was so good in helping me create my own voice, because we're not going to get access to certain rooms and tables. And if we are there, it's just to fill a number like, oh, here's our one woman, here's our one minority, and you're a placeholder and you can fill it, even though you're still engaging and having a voice. I think you have to look at where you get your joy at. And for me, it's making an impact. And that impact doesn't necessarily have to be like a national impact. Am I impacting positively people's lives and what I'm doing, and would something else impact people more? So we can get really focused on our own careers, but also be thinking about those women. They're absolutely exceptional in what they do, and there are names that you can bring forward whenever you're asked. So we talked about like making space for yourself. And so a lot of this too is about making space for others and making, that's the only way we're going to get more seats at the table, is if we are the ones that are able to be the advocates and the allies.